Hey, what's up, Rockstars? This is Alex Board coming at you from the Midwest, and today I want to do a video on an essential guitar technique called the hammer-on, okay? Which would be the opposite of a pull-off, if you've seen that video already. And the hammer-on, this is what it sounds like. We're going to start with an open string, just to keep it simple. That is a hammer-on, okay? Now, if you're only watching one hand when I do this, you're missing about half of what it takes to do a hammer-on. Okay? So, first look at the left hand. Looks like two notes coming out. It's exactly that. It's two notes. But if you look at the right hand, you notice that I'm only picking one. The first one. So two notes, one pick. Okay? Now, what's happening here, a hammer-on is pretty self-explanatory. What you need to do is play the first note and hammer on to the second note, okay? The trick is you want the second note to sound as loud, or louder even, than the first note, okay? You should be able to do this with every finger on your left hand. Okay, now I'll give you a close-up of what's happening here. So, okay, that's what's happening. Now, if your second note isn't sounding as loud as your first note, there could be a couple things happening that you're not doing. One is you might not be hammering on hard enough. Okay, this is a hammer-on. So you really have to hammer that string in order to get it to sound, okay? If you're coming from really low and just getting a soft note, you're probably not hammering, okay? You're just putting your finger on. Well, it's a hammer-on, not a put-on, okay? So you need to hammer that note. Notice when I do it, I'm actually coming like, a good, from maybe an inch and a half or 2 inches off of the fretboard. So the amount that you wind up with your finger and come down is directly proportional to how loud that second note is. Okay. So wind up, just like you're hitting like a baseball or something. You're gonna hit it further if you wind up. Okay. The other thing too is you want to hit it in that sweet spot where every note sounds nice. That is right behind the fret, okay? Where you get a nice clear note, that's where you want to hammer onto. And try to hammer on, try to get directly on the string, okay? You don't want to direct all the hammer-on energy into the fretboard, because then your note isn't going to sound as loud. And if you get back here and you hammer on back here, it might not be as clean, okay? So sweet spot right behind the fret, and you want to be able to do that with every finger at first, starting with an open string. Then you can graduate to a couple fingers. Okay, so now I'm just doing the fingers 1 and 3. Okay. So pretty much the same rules apply now. You're just using 2 fingers. Now, the second finger you want to keep down at all times, even after you hammer onto the second note. So try it on different strings, because each string is physically different. Other fingers, so on and so forth. Okay? Thanks for watching. Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Talk to you later. I'm Alex Bourne. Cheers.